Hey guys, welcome back. So glad you chose to join us yet again as we demonstrate for you how simple cooking can be. Now, Ty and I are here to introduce our next item, and that's another soup, but this time instead of tomato we're going to do mushroom. Now, I gotta be honest, there are people that don't care for mushrooms too much because, you know, it's really a fungus, but they are so good. My wife and I got sick on mushrooms about a decade and a half ago or so, and since then we've had a tough time getting back into mushrooms again, but this soup is doing it for me. I just put together this recipe. I found one on the internet and I was like, well, I can change that, and I put it out there, and there's some people that have said it's the best that they've ever had. So either their standards are really low or we did okay. So watch as we demonstrate for you cream of mushroom soup. I hope you enjoy. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another maybe I should start that one over. Welcome again to another Simply Simple cooking demonstration. Today we're going to make another soup, and today's soup is cream of mushroom. Now, if you've been watching our other videos, I'm sure that you already know the big climactic point over here with the cream, but let's start today in the pot. What we're going to start with today is our butter. So we're going to put the heat on a medium low. We're going to get our butter in the pot. Got to get all that because, oh, it's so good. Now you guys already know what I use. Often instead of butter, you use what is good for you. Alright, so we got to get this melted down, and so again I'm going to take my, now it's not really clean, but my favorite little kitchen tool. I'm going to mash that butter down and get that to get it melted quicker. Because what we want to do is we want to saute our mushrooms. Now, just to save time, I went ahead and did a bunch of those, but I just wanted you to see, I saved a few here. So let me move this over just a little bit. Maybe we can get that on the overhead shot. But I wanted you to see, it's very simple, okay? You just, of course we've already rinsed them off, okay? It is a fungus after all. And we're gonna just cut them up like that. And now we want to come back this way. Done. Okay? So you can do that as much or as little as you want to, depending on how big of chunks of mushroom that you want to be putting in your mouth. Okay? So our butter is good and it's starting to sizzle now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to get that garlic in there. Get the garlic in, get it opening up. You're going to start smelling, well, you're not, but we're going to start smelling a wonderful, wonderful smell of garlic. All right. You see that too, how that just stands up there in the pot for you? Oh, I just love this little guy. I don't even remember where I got it, but I got two of them. All right, so once the garlic's been there for just a few seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, however long you want to wait, then we're going to add our mushrooms. Okay? So I'll add the ones that I just did, and then we'll add the rest of them. Oh, yum! Do you even like mushroom soup? I know that my wife doesn't really like mushroom soup all that much, and this is a recipe that I've just recently done. And she's a good sport, she tries things, and so she actually tasted it, and she said, oh. And I was like, really? She goes, no, it's good, and I don't want to like it, because, you know, to her, mushrooms are a fungus, and so that's not really something she wants to eat. All right, so we're letting these mushrooms cook down for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to put the lid on. By putting the lid on, that's going to keep that heat in the pot and a little convection going on, and it will cook more of the mushrooms quicker. All right, so while that's going on, let's step over to our blender. by now, unless this is the first time you've watched one of these demonstrations, by now you know the drill. Okay? 1 cup of cashews. Remember the heap? The heap, because when you look, so you look down in there, all that space in between the cashews means it's not really a cup. So you got to heap it up. Those go in. 1 cup of cashews, 1 cup of water. I didn't show you, but we didn't heap up the water because you really can't do that. All right, so we're going to put the lid on and blend away. All right, my favorite part right here, every time. Ooh, look, we got it good and blended. You can maybe see the steam coming off there. All right, my favorite part is you get to verify that it is good and creamy and that there is no grit in your cashew mix. And it is good. We're ready to go there. All right, so let's check see if these have cooked down enough. Not quite. What we're going to do, you're going to start smelling a cooked mushroom. Now these mushrooms that I'm using are not a typical, just a white mushroom, but these are called baby bellas, baby portobello mushrooms. And I just find that they have a very, I don't know, maybe even a meaty taste to them compared to just the mushrooms that you might get on a salad bar or something like that. So as these are cooking down, you'll notice that some of the water is actually cooking off of them as well because we're getting more liquid in there, and that's just fine because we're going to end up adding more liquid to that anyway. All right, they're going to darken just a little bit, and that's when you know that they're done. So we're going to give that just a couple of more minutes before we add our broth. Now the vegetable broth, you can do this, I use vegetable broth, whatever broth that you want to use. If you want to use chicken, or if you want to use beef, or if you want to use, do they make shrimp broth? I don't know, whatever kind of broth that you use. I use the vegetable broth, and typically they would come in what we would call a cube, like a bouillon cube like this, and they're good. But what I have found is I have found one that's called Better Than Bouillon, and it comes in a little jar, and it's more of a paste than a liquid. Let me give this one more stir. It's more of a paste that you'll see like that, and it is so good. And they have all different kinds of flavors for that that you can get, but it's really, really tasty. Now with that, I put enough in there to glean the recipe down in the description, enough for 2 cups. So basically 16 ounces. Now I've added the water with that bouillon paste, and it's going to have to mix a little bit, and it will eventually dissolve the paste, and you'll have a nice broth. A nice mushroom broth. Now we have one dry ingredient that we're going to add. Nutmeg. I know, I didn't think so either. But it really does enhance the flavor of this guy. Alright, so we're going to get that in there. Now, you could serve it just like it is right now, but it would be a straight up mushroom soup. There would be no cream to it. And of course we have to have the cream. Enter the cashews. Alright, so here we go. Stirring that in because we started out with a hot, you know, those mushrooms were in there and they were going to town in the butter. But remember when I added the water, that cooled everything down, so I'm able to put the cream in right on the heat. But keep in mind, you don't want your pot to be too warm when you put that cream in there, because if it is, you're going to actually curdle that cream. So let's not do that. All right. Now, as the cashew mixes in with the mushrooms and the broth, and as it comes back to a heat, it's going to start to thicken up a little bit. And that gives you a wonderful, wonderful cream of mushroom soup. Our last ingredient, salt to taste. Now I have an aunt who loves salt. So in honor of her, I'm just going to go ahead and do another one. Now again, just like in the other creamy soup that we did, the tomato basil soup, if you didn't see that one, you got to do that. You got to try that one. It is amazing. It's like restaurant quality soup. You're going to be looking for the little bubbles coming around the outside. And once they start to form on the outside, then that means that you've reached temperature and you're ready. Can you believe we're about done? So simple. So few ingredients. And so tasty. Move that to the side. We're going to grab our bowl. And as it cools down, right now it's still pretty thin. As it cools, it will thicken to a wonderful, wonderful cream of mushroom soup. Ready to serve. Well, while it's ready to serve right now, it's not ready to eat right now because you can see how hot it is. But a cream of mushroom soup that is so good and so creamy, people will not believe you put cashews in it. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us in another episode of Simply Simple Cooking. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, why not subscribe? Visit us on Facebook, check out our website, or shoot us an email. Leave a comment down below. And above all, have a great day.